Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's tutorial, I will demonstrate how to draft a jumpsuit pattern. This particular jumpsuit design has no half cut or waist joining. Hi, my name is Ayo and welcome to 011 Clothings Tutorials. On this channel, I upload DIYs, pattern drafting and sewing tutorials. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now, let's get right into the tutorial. Thank you! I'll be working with the following items: tape measure. Ideally, a pencil should be used to draft a pattern, but for tutorial purpose, I will be using this marker pen, calculator, sellotape, rulers and curves, pattern paper. I'll be working with the following measurements: full length of jumpsuit 60 inches, shoulder to shoulder measurement 16 inches, bust circumference 39 inches, waist circumference 35 inches, hip circumference 43 inches, front waist length 18 inches, shoulder to bust point 10.5 inches, around knee measurement 18 inches, around ankle measurement 14 inches, I have here this long pattern paper that will accommodate the full length of the jumpsuit, which is 60 inches. I will add additional extra 5 inches to this. I have already drawn a margin of 2 inches at the top and 3 inches on the left hand side of the pattern paper. I will start drafting the front pattern. The first thing I will do is to measure and mark 1 inch downwards from the upper starting line. I will square a line across like this. This line is the shoulder line. Next, I will calculate the armhole depth. I will use the formula bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches, and this is equal to 39 divided by 6 plus 1.5, and this is equal to 8 inches. So I'll go ahead to measure and mark 8 inches starting from the shoulder line downwards like this, and I will square a horizontal line across. This line is the armhole line, some call it the chest line. My shoulder to bust point measurement is 10.5 inches. So I will go ahead to measure and mark 10.5 inches like this, starting from the upper starting line downwards. I will square a horizontal line across like this, and this line is the bust line. So this is the shoulder line, this is the chest line or the armhole line, and this is the bust line. My front waist length measurement is 18 inches. So I'll go ahead to measure and mark 18 inches from the upper starting line downwards like this. I will square a horizontal line across. This line is the waist line. Next, I will calculate the crotch depth for the jumpsuit. To calculate the crotch depth, I will simply divide my hip circumference measurement by 3, and this is equal to 43 inches divided by 3, and this is equal to 14.3 inches. So I will go ahead to measure and mark 14.3 inches starting from the waistline upwards like this. I will square a horizontal line across, and this line is the crotch line. Next, I will go ahead to measure and mark 16 inches downwards, and this 16 inches is the full length of the jumpsuit. I will start the measurement from the upper starting line downwards. I will square a horizontal line across like this, and this will be the hem of the jumpsuit. Next, I will measure and mark another 1 inch downwards like this from the hem, and I will square a horizontal line across. This extra 1 inch should take care of the shortage that we will have when I introduce the bust dart. I will now locate the middle point between the crotch line and the hem. I will square a horizontal line across, and this line should give me the knee line. You can also measure the knee line directly on your client. I will now go ahead to measure and mark 3 inches by 3 inches for the front neck dimension. Using my French curve, I will now go ahead and draw the front neckline curve like this. Next, I will divide my shoulder to shoulder measurement by 2, and this is equal to 16 inches divided by 2, and this is equal to 8 inches. So on the shoulder line, I will measure and mark 8 inches like this. I will connect these 2 points together with my ruler, and this should give me the slanted shoulder line. This line is the chest line or the armhole line. On the chest line or armhole line, I will also measure and mark 8 inches, which is the shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2. I will now connect these 2 points together with broken line like this. Next, I will calculate my bust circumference plus 1 inch for ease divided by 4, and this is equal to 39 plus 1 divided by 4, and this is equal to 10 inches. So on the armhole line, I will measure and mark 10 inches starting from the center front. I will locate the middle point on the broken line, and I will mark the middle point. From the middle point, I will measure and mark half an inch inwards like this. I will connect it to the shoulder tip using my ruler. I will now go ahead and curve the lower part of the armhole curve like this using my French curve. Next, I will calculate my waist circumference plus 1 inch for ease divided by 4 plus additional 1 inch for the waist dart, and this is equal to 35 plus 1 inch divided by 4 plus 1 inch for the waist dart, and this is equal to 10 inches. So on the waistline, I will go ahead to measure and mark 10 inches like this starting from the center front. I will now connect these 2 points together with my ruler like this. Next, I will divide my bust span measurement by 2, and this is equal to 8 inches divided by 2, and this is equal to 4 inches. So on the bust line, I will measure and mark 4 inches like this, starting from the center front. On the waistline, I will also measure and mark 4 inches starting from the center front. I will now measure and mark half an inch on both sides of the 4-inch mark. For the waist dart, I will now connect these points together to give me the upper half of the waist dart. From the crotch line, I will measure and mark 4 inches upwards like this, and I will square a short horizontal line across, and this is where the waist dart will end. On this new line, I will also measure and mark 4 inches, which is my bust span measurement divided by 2. I will now connect these points together with my ruler to give me the lower half of the waist dart. Next, I will draw the bust dart. I will use just 1.5 inches for the width of the bust dart. If you use more than this, the hem of the jumpsuit will be too wide. So starting from the bust line, I will measure and mark 1.5 inches downwards like this. I will now connect it to the bust point like this using my ruler. I will find midpoint and I will draw a middle line in between the bust dart like this. From the middle line, I will measure and mark half an inch outwards like this. I will now use this half an inch as a guide to through the bust dart. What I'm doing now is called throwing the dart. Next, I will connect the waist dart straight down to the knee line like this. So I'll measure and mark 4 inches on the knee line as a guide. I will now connect the 2 points together like this. I will now calculate my hip circumference plus 1 inch for ease divided by 4, and this is equal to 43 plus 1 divided by 4, and is equal to 11 inches. So on the crotch line, I will measure and mark 11 inches like this. Yes, on the crotch line and not on the hip line, just in case you think I made a mistake. I did not even draw a hip line, and this is deliberate. I will now connect these 2 points together with my ruler like this. Next, I will now connect the waist dart down to the hem of the pattern. What I'm measuring is my bust span divided by 2, which is 4 inches. I'm doing this just to ensure that I have a straight line. Next, I will calculate the front crotch extension using the formula hip circumference divided by 20, and this is 43 inches divided by 20, and this is equal to 2.2 inches. So on the crotch line, at the center front, I will measure and mark 2.2 inches like this. Using my French curve, I will now go ahead and curve it like this from the 4-inch mark that I marked upwards from the crotch line. Next, I will move over to the knee. I will divide my around knee measurement by 2, and this is equal to 18 inches divided by 2, and this is equal to 9 inches. This line that I drew straight down from the waist dart will be the crease line of the jumpsuit. So I will measure and mark the 9 inches on both sides of the crease line at the knee line, 4.5 inches on both sides of the crease line. I will now go ahead and connect these points together. This side is the inseam of the jumpsuit. I will now connect the crotch to the knee using this hip curve. This side is the side seam or the out seam of the jumpsuit. I will now connect the crotch to the knee using the hip curve also, like this. Next, I will move to the hem. I will divide my around ankle measurement by 2, and this is equal to 14 inches divided by 2, and this is equal to 7 inches. So I will measure and mark these 7 inches on both sides of the crease line at the hem of the pattern. So I will measure and mark 3.5 inches on both sides. I will now connect the knee to the hem on both sides, the inseam and the outseam, using my ruler like this. So this is what the full front pattern looks like now. I will now go ahead and cut out the front jumpsuit pattern. I have pinned the front jumpsuit pattern on another pattern paper. I will now draft the back pattern. The back neck depth is 1 inch. So I will now redraw the back neck pattern like this. On the waistline, I will tighten the back by 1/2 inch. So I will measure and mark 1/2 inch. I will locate and mark the middle point between the back neck depth and the armhole line. I will now connect this point to the 1/2 inch mark, which I use for the back tightening. I will also connect the 1/2 inch point to the 4 inch point that I marked above the crotch line like this. So now I have successfully tightened the center back of the back pattern. Using a tracing wheel, I will now trace the center tightening to the new pattern paper like this. Next, I will calculate the crotch extension for the back pattern. To do this, I will divide my hip circumference measurement by 10, and this is equal to 43 inches divided by 10, and this is equal to 4.3 inches. So on the crotch line, starting from the center front, I will measure and mark 4.3 inches outwards like this. I will now go ahead and curve it like this with my French curve from the 4 inch point that I measured above the crotch line. I should also connect the crotch extension down to the knee line, which I didn't do correctly here. I will correct this later. At the knee, I will extend the knee by 1/2 inch on both sides of the knee line, both the inseam and the outseam. Also at the hem, I will extend it by 1/2 inch on both sides of the outseam and the inseam of the pattern. I will now connect these points together with my ruler like this. Now I will connect the crotch extension to the knee using my hip curve. Using my Tipex, I will clean off this error that I made earlier. Next, I'll connect the knee to the crotch using my hip curve like this. Next, I will reduce the length of the back pattern by 1.5 inches. I will reduce the length of the back pattern by 1.5 inches. Remember that we added 1.5 inches bust dart to the front pattern, and I will still close this bust dart later on. I have to reduce the length of the back pattern so that the back pattern is no longer than the front pattern. I will transfer the front waist dart to the other side using my tracing wheel. I will draw a middle line in between the front waist dart like this. I will also trace out the middle line, and I will also trace out the crease line to the other pattern. I will now separate the front from the back pattern like this. I will make all the tracing bolder like this using my marker pen and ruler. This is the front jumpsuit pattern. I will now go ahead and slash the front pattern along the crease line like this to the bust point. I will close the bust dart like this using my sellotape. By closing the bust dart, I have automatically opened up the pattern. I will now place this front pattern on another pattern paper like this. I will sellotape it in place. I will now trim off the excess pattern paper like this. This is the back pattern. I will also slash the back pattern along the crease line like this, from the hem to the bust point, then to the side. I will place it on another pattern paper like this. I will use the front jumpsuit pattern as a guide to know how wide I should open up the hem of the back jumpsuit pattern. So I will use the front pattern as a guide to know how wide I should open up the hem of the back pattern. So once I'm done with the comparison of the two patterns, and I'm sure that both are equal at the hem, I will now go ahead and sellotape the back pattern in place to the new pattern paper. This side is the side seam or the out seam of the pattern, while this side is the inseam. At this inseam side, I will extend the length of the pattern by 1.5 inches. So I will fix another pattern paper and sellotape it in place. So I'll fix another pattern paper at this side and I'll sellotape it in place. So I'll measure and mark the 1.5 inches like this. I will now connect it to the other side of the pattern paper. I'm extending the length of the inseam by 1 inches so that its length matches up with the length of the front jumpsuit pattern at the inseam area. I will now trim off the excess pattern paper. I will alter the front basic neckline of 3 inches by 3 inches. So I will increase the neck width and the neck depth by 1 inch. And I will now redraw the new neckline curve like this. And I will now cut it out. Because I intend to use a small cap sleeve for this jumpsuit, I will raise the armhole by 1 inch so as to avoid gaping. You can skip this if you intend to use a full sleeve for the jumpsuit. Also, you should do this tightening if the jumpsuit is a sleeveless outfit. I will now cut out the excess pattern paper like this. For the back neckline curve, I will also increase the neck width and the neck depth by 1 inch like this. I will draw a new neckline curve like this. I will now cut it out. I will also raise or tighten the armhole by 1 inch so as to avoid gaping like this. I will now cut out the excess pattern paper. So this is what the front and the back jumpsuit pattern looks like now. Can you see this awkward looking shape at the side seam, especially at the knee down to the hem? I have to correct this. So I have gone ahead to fix extra pattern paper to the side of the jumpsuit. So I will now straighten the side like this using my ruler and I will cut it out. I will do the same thing for the back piece as well. So I will straighten this awkward looking shape at the side like this. So I will straighten it with my ruler. I will now trim off the excess pattern paper like this. So that's it guys, we are done, and this is what the front and the back jumpsuit pattern looks like. Stay tuned for my next tutorial where I will cut and sew this jumpsuit pattern pieces on my fabric. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, share this video with your friends who are interested in sewing, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. See you in my next tutorial. Bye and thank you so much for watching.